only a few more weeks of winter left. As you can see, it's not foggy today. Lovely, fantastic. Can't wait for, I think, 3 more weeks until spring. Definitely not getting warmer though. It's I think it's like -4 at the moment. It was -6 when I did my intervals yesterday. And then I'll talk about this a bit later. But do you guys know Brian Stachel? He's got his own YouTube channel. And I spoke to him. He's based in Canada. Friday morning, -7. So pretty bloody cold. But yeah, keen for it to warm up a little bit. So what do we do this week? I'll chuck up on the screen the what we actually did, the whole debrief. But Monday, nice easy run, 55 minutes, and yeah, cruisy. Looks like my heart rate is starting to come back to normal. It was yeah, I'd call it a decent run. In the afternoon, I then actually hit up the gym. I was able to find a spare moment and got some session in. It's the first time in ages. I think probably a month since I last at the gym, so it's good to pump some iron. Tuesday, another easy run. But this one was, I'm not going to say there was a twist, but new shoes. So here they are. I'm wearing them on my long run today. But these are the shoes I wore on Tuesday. And for those that can't recognize them, just by having a look, that's the Dynafish Xianyan. And it's supposed to be the long run shoe replacement. The Super Blast 3, fantastic shoes for long runs. I would love to buy a pair. I have been critical of them in the past, but they're the best long run shoe I've ever had. But I'm not paying $340 for them. Like, really? Oh. Anyway, I picked these up for about $150, delivered, so over half the price. And yeah, we're going to give them some testing, see how they go. Are they actually as good as, everyone says they are? Now, Wednesday was another nice, easy run. Still trying to work out the new treadmill, my body, what shoes work best for what sort of workout, what sort of session. So I'm still doing trial and error, but I think we're getting pretty close. Thursday, I took the day off. Look at that sunrise. Oh, it's just after 6:30, maybe 6:40 at the moment. So yeah, lovely this time of year. Cold, but lovely. On Friday, I then had another easy run. I also had my call with Brant in the morning. Now, it was heart rate. I was back up to what it was the last couple of weeks. I think because of the delayed start and because it was a bit cold. As I said earlier, it was -7 on Friday, and I was sitting in my office for just over an hour having that chat, and just my body was like freezing and seizing up. But it wasn't too bad. But it's good to have that chat with him. We went through my training plan. He made a video about it. It's already out. I'll link it in the description below. Make sure you check it out. And I'll do a full video about how I lay out my week and how his sort of updates kind of factor into that. So make sure you stay tuned. But yeah, Friday was a bit of not a great session, but it is what it is. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. That was a learning one. Which then brings me into Saturday. Oh, that was a good session. Now, as you guys know, I love my long tempos. Now that I did, it was a 2-hour run, but 90 minutes of that, straight tempo. Now I did the session, I've done the session so many times, but the last time I did it was by mid-May, 2 to 3 weeks out from the Brisbane half. I'll chuck up on the screen here a few different stats, but it was so much harder last time. So my pace was actually a bit slower. I think it was 5 seconds per K slower, but I did 100 meters more of elevation. So last time it was 150 meters of elevation. This time, 250. And we're talking basically the same pace. That's good progress. My heart rate, significantly lower. I was in the 160s, whereas this time, 155 average. 5 to 6 beats a minute lower. So much more efficient. That's low zone 3 versus top zone 3. Completely different energy system. So what does that mean? Honestly, it doesn't mean a lot. But given that, 3 months ago, that was a really hard session. And then in Brisbane, I did a 146. Whereas this time, it was still hard, but it wasn't as hard. So, I'm thinking I'm at least in 145 shape. It gives me a good sense that maybe I'll get a good PR. At least a 145. Will I get a 130? That won't tell me that. But we still got 12 weeks. But 12 weeks out, and we can keep building. How much further can I go? How much can I improve? Can I get much closer to my goal compared to where I was a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago? And yeah, so that then brings me to today. Nice, easy, 2.5 hours, give or take 23k, take me to 78k for the week. Biggest week so far in the block, but it's also probably the first time I've done 6 days. I've always had something come up and I've had to skip a session, or it's been a rest week, or something's come up. And so I haven't been able to hit that sort of the volume I want. But we're here now. And let's see how much we can go. I'm looking forward to seeing next week. Not sure whether I will start adding intensity. I want to. But as I said earlier, still learning how my body's reacting to the cold, how my body's reacting to the treadmill, all these different factors. So what sort of fatigue am I building up? Anyway, see you guys on the next one.